a good base runner.
Yes.
It's not over
Seth.
just because you're
Seth.
on base doesn't mean I'm done.
You got to be a good base runner to be at first, take a softball.
What do you got to
There's an orange base next to the first base.
Why is an assist should only be between one person?
Okay, so Seth over there, he's my guy.
Okay.
He wins a face-off.
Okay, great.
Plays it back to me.
Okay, great.
I'm Robbie Thomas.
Okay, great.
You set a pick for me. I skate around you. I put one. I beat the goalie. You immediately muck and grind to the dirty area. You have broken bones. You have shattered tendons. You have CTE. Okay, pal. You got it all. And you still
got it all, kid.
You still go right into the net, baby, and you poke that baby in. Okay, I'll give you a walk-off home run is good. If David Freese,
in the World Series,
if David Freese was Joe Carter, I'm fine. I got you. I got you. He did it. Listen, David Freese was in the dugout getting a manicure before he came up to bat last time. Have you seen the video footage? He's getting
the game 6.
None
game
of
6.
That has anything.
He's getting his nails filed.
He was a strike away from this season. He was a strike away from the
season
season being over, where these guys were just trying to advance to the next round.
No, the
Guys,
game. If it's golden goal.
Hang on. Okay. Patrick Maroon scored 2 goals in a 7-game series in the second round of the playoffs. David Freese was the NLCS MVP and World Series MVP.
But because of what the clock said, when he scored those 2 goals, they were better goals.
Okay, well, if
any player on the ice,
I will say
one thing
about David Freese, though.
Any player on the ice,
no player.
David
he didn't
Freese
get that
has
triple.
to beat a guy one-on-one every single one of those at bats.
What if they change the lineup? Then it's Berkman.
If I remember,
and without all the other guys,
Berkman was down to his last strike too in that game.
Yeah, and who else was on base?
If we went on base for the triple, if St. Louis went to, let's say they had shootouts. Let's say it wasn't golden goal. Let's say they went to shootouts. Would Patrick Maroon be one of the players taking the shootout?
What does that have to do with anything?
Would he or not?
No, because he's made to muck and grind.
He's made to muck.
He's
made to grind.
I'm just saying.
I will say one thing, Craig, that kind of goes against our argument is David Freese was not credited with that triple. It's actually an error. So there is that.
Thank you. That ball should have been caught.
But he made
great. That puck shouldn't have got past Bishop.
Oh, he got beat. He got beat.
But see, like that's my thing. Like Thomas was the player there. I get it. Maroon was in the right place at the right time. He was in the right place. Dude, it was so much fun celebrating with you the other night with St. Louis. It was
now I don't want to see your face.
It was a blast.
Okay, here's the deal.
There is not much like
why don't you make out
a double OT game 7
and I'm with you guys. I think like here's what and we're going to talk to Stully later. But he really did live the dream. Like when I was a kid, I put myself in David Freese's shoes.
Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs.
Except it was maybe game 7 where it was the 9th inning and, whatever.
Peak, yeah.
But it was a walk-off.
It was still an elimination game.
Yes. A walk-off home run in an elimination game.
Extra innings.
Totally. Like that's what you're dreaming about. And you hit one.
You hit the big hit to extend the game.
That was huge.
And then you hit the big hit to end the game.
Yes. So a walk-off home run in baseball is a really cool thing. There's probably nothing better than the fireworks going off, the crowd screaming. He says he doesn't even remember running around the bases.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
So that's really neat. On the flip side, playing soccer, biggest thing was golden goal in the World Cup.
Totally.
Every 4 years, your team's out there, and then I don't even know if they used to do it or if this was just a FIFA dream. That this is how the settings were. I could have swore they did. Now they don't. They play 2. I want to say 30 or 45-minute halves again. It's not golden goal anymore. But to score a golden goal, a sudden death goal, where every time the puck goes up and down the ice. I mean, we had
in and out.
We had that last game went to sudden death.
It was great.
And how crazy did they go? Ali just threw a blind shot towards the net. And that's what it takes a lot of times.
No doubt.
Blind shot. You never know. We peppered Bishop with 52 or 54 shots.
54. He stopped 52 of them. It was the most saves he's ever had in his career. And that's saying a lot. I mean, Bishop stood on his head, which was another thing that made the moment cool.
Yeah.
2 St. Louis kids.
Yep.
Ultimately factored into the last play.
He can hold his head high forever in this town. It was beautiful. And here's the deal. This is one step above than what we imagined as kids. So we're kids. We're in the backyard, even throwing the ball up to yourself and hitting those home runs, or even just skating around on rollerblades in your South City backyard patio.
No doubt.
But what was so cool is that, your dad is your biggest guy in your life at that point. And you imagine scoring the goal and maybe looking up at your dad, right? And your dad's like,
oh, buddy.
Maroon, his son, got to see it. That's something you don't think about when you're a kid. And when you're older, to be able to, I was walking on sunshine. I scored the game-winning goal at a Veta soccer game.
Buddy, I hit a walk-off bomb in softball, and I'm like,
I know.
Going home getting laid tonight,
I'm going to sleep real good tonight, baby.
Yeah, for sure.
Save some for the rest of us.
I know, buddy. Hey, I mean,
it's by me, so don't get excited.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not anything special.
Actually, do you think they'll ever stop giving David Freese a standing ovation?
Never.
I was part of it.
And he should never buy a drink in this town again.
I was part of his first standing ovation when he was a Pirate.
Were you?
Yeah.
I mean, here's where I'm at on that.
Carp hit a walk-off.
You want to give Freezer a standing O? Like, okay, first game, first at bat, give him a standing O. You don't do it 4 times a game. Don't do it.
Yeah.
4 times.
How many are you going to give Pujols?
I'm going to cheer for Albert Pujols until I lose my voice. And if St. Louis doesn't do it, shame on them, because he's the greatest baseball player of his generation, and he gave this town $330 million worth of production on a $100 million contract. Okay, so when Albert Pujols steps into that plate, I swear on everything holy, if Artie Moreno doesn't tell that manager, listen, I don't care if you have to hold his feet together with
11 minutes.
6. Oh, it's not going to be that
11
long.
years.
It's not going to be that long, but it's going to be loud.
Okay.
Do you think you'll hear some boos? I mean, do you think you'll be able to hear the boos over how loud the cheers will be?
No, not the first time.
There's going to be boos. There's going to be boos. And to those people, you're ridiculous.
Good for you. Good for
you're
you.
Ridiculous.
Good for you.
You're absolutely ridiculous.
You know what was really cool too? When we scored the goal, we had a nice little business meeting at an awesome little bar and grill we're going to tell you about. But I took off. When we scored the goal, I just took off running. It
was great
because that's just like kind of instinct.
The place went crazy, and it's so funny because you're on edge, you're waiting for it, and it's a delayed response where, like, even though it happened, you can kind of see everything slowing down, and you see the expressions kind of just light up before the noise. Yeah, like people are all realizing it at the same time. At least for me, like I know everything kind of, and then it's like. And like everybody's hugging and high-fiving and spilling drinks. And
the hugs and high fives that were going around Truman's, the outdoor patio area, it was pandemonium. Yeah. We had Let's Go Blues cheers. Yeah. People were just screaming at the TVs. Yeah. It was
when he says people were screaming at the TVs, Steve was screaming at the TVs, and the people behind us were laughing, where they were just like laughing like.
Then they got into it.
They could appreciate it.
They got into it.
They thought that goal was hilarious.
Yeah, they're like, we're winning. It was that first goal was BS, came off the ref's leg. But I mean, here's the whole deal. I don't even want to talk about it because I haven't talked about it. We had the great open show. If you didn't listen to our show last week, it's on the podcasting, right?
Yeah.
Yes. The best of. It was amazing. Seth did an awesome job. Yeah. But we were talking about the Blues at the beginning of the year, talking about O'Reilly.
That was so awesome.
Yeah. No, and it was a great little deal.
You were fired up.
Yeah. And Allen, you know what I mean? I don't. That's what we talked about him a little bit, but
Bennington. How about Bennington? Hey, real quick, did you know that integrity is in the building?
Integrity.
Oh, he's been sitting on it. I thought I might be able to catch him.
He did. Yeah.
Quick draw, McGraw.
Okay, so I want to shout out one of our fans, Kenny Zim Zim,
the mullet man. The mullet man.
Okay, so we've been trying to fire this city up. Craig and I and Seth, we invested in a green screen. So after each game, if you haven't checked it out yet, I've been dancing to Gloria in jean shorts and a half shirt. It's a whole deal. Cucky the Dwarf, get at me on Twitter. But we're trying to
get a funny follow.
Yeah, we're gonna get this video shared a lot. A bunch of people said I should send it to the NHL, but I was like, I'm not gonna send it to the NHL. That's pathetic.
I will.
Thank you. So this is my plea to everyone out there. Share it all. Share all this stuff. We're trying to grow the brand.
I mean, we've had like 20,000 hits on your montage.
I've been getting a lot since I released these videos. You know, in a perfect world, a bunch of 25-year-old women would be sending me friend requests.
You're becoming quite the cam model lately.
Yeah, just wait. So I'm like, and you figure I'd be like, I'm married, ladies, like lay off, but I still got it. Kind of go to like, hey. Instead, I'm hitting about the 45 to 55-year-old down low.
Dad on the down low.
Dad on the down low. A lot of them sliding into my inbox.
Wait.
Which one do I want? Dads, husbands, guys living that life. The last glimpse of guys
want to get a motel during lunch. Is that kind of
a lot of their meat? A lot of their pals are married. And
meat for coffee quotes.
Yeah, they're in a lot of bowling leagues.
It's fun though, and I'm not going to knock anybody what they're into.
Hello.
To be fair, so flattered.
To be fair, you are wearing the uniform.
Thank you. So I got
what was who with the Reno 911 get with the rollerblades?
Listen, Craig, just because he's dressed like that doesn't mean he's asking
Terry,
for it.
Yes.
I know.
You're Terry, and like
selling oranges.
I mean,
selling oranges. I did it before Terry, though, just so everybody knows.
I know who you are, and that's okay.
I don't think I did.
I don't think you did either.
How long did it take you to realize the guys from Reno 911 are the same people from the state?
Immediately.
The state.
The sketch comedy show from the early 90s MTV.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
What?
I have a whole world to introduce you to of really weird, stupid, but somehow still funny sketch comedy.
Oh,
early 90s MTV.
Do you know who my partner is? It sounds right up my alley.
Yeah. It was on like right after Liquid Television.
Okay.
Which was on right after Beavis and Butthead.
Okay.
Gosh, remember when TV was just great?
I guess I didn't have cable then, so I had to go to like my friend's house to watch cable.
We had like 20 channels.
Nostalgia's good.
Nostalgia's great. I love nostalgia.
I love it. It makes me think of my
nostalgia's a warm blanket, man.
I know, but it's like the piercing blanket
of
death.
It's a heavy blanket.
It's
a heavy blanket,
but it's a warm blanket soaked in piss.
Yeah, sometimes
a little bit.
That's
good.
Sure.
That's good.
For sure, that's a good analogy.
Wow, we haven't been here in a while.
I think we need a break. Craig? Who do we got? Who do we got on the other side?
The other side of the break, we got Brian Stoll with some blues talk. WGNU's only. Well, no, that's not true anymore, is it?
We got online with this email.
Yeah, so he used to be it used to just be like us and Stoley, arm in arm, putting 920 on our back, trudging through the snow, carrying this station to the promised land.
Hey, is that Everest?
Don't forget Dave Ramsey.
And then now we got Z-Man. I don't even know if that's how he sounds.
Z-Man?
I don't know if that's how it sounds or not. But so anyway, Stoley is the sports guy here in the afternoons. He's great. He's been on the show before. Had a nice little conversation with him. We're going to let you two wax blues a little bit. I'm going to sit here and just drink it all in because I am Craig Kohler, non-hockey guy. This is WGNU 920 AM. Which features Who's Your Sophisticate. We'll see you guys on the other side of the break. You can get an insurance quote anywhere. What people are really looking for is someone to help manage the risk of everyday life. And that's exactly what James Carlton State Farm does. He's also dangerously handsome. He has the dreamiest eyes.
James Carlton has the best customer service in the game. You'll never get a voicemail, and you'll always get a great back rub.
He has the softest hands. A strong sense of community is important to who he is as an agent. From local school sponsorships to sandbagging during floods, it's paramount to be a part of the community. We love the cut of his jib.
Guys, call 314-961-4800. Find him online at carltoninsurance.net.
We wish he was our dad.
Hey there, Krager.
Well, hey, Steve.
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I've been pretty good.
Well, that's good. Hey, you heard anything about them newfangled hemp oils they got now?
I just don't know where to find a good one.
Well, I find the best full-spectrum hemp oil from MomedCanco.com.
Where?
I get it from MomedCanco.com.
Is it expensive?
It don't cost 2 kittens whiskers. And if you enter HooSoph in the promo box, you're going to get yourself 15% off.
buddy. It sounds like we're squatching tall cotton.
Darn right we are.
Where can I find them?
You can find them online, momedcanco.com, Missouri Medical Cannabis Company.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah. Lifetime. Yeah. It lasts a lifetime. Come on. It lasts a lifetime. Yeah. And just go Google it. I wanna lay those shingles down, girl, for you. I wanna lay those shingles down, boy, for you. I'm gonna do some siding, get you excited. James Hardy siding. Google it. Roof up for a lifetime. You know I make your neighbors cry. Boo, boo. Cause we tell all the leaks go by. And you know we all do the side. James Hardy boy, yeah.
Guys, Lifetime Roofing. They're the best roofers in the game. Best customer service. LifetimeSTL.com. Google them.
Spiders are found on nearly every continent on the earth. Bugs and arachnids and insects and other little critters are vital to the Earth's homeostasis, keeping our planet in balance and making all of our lives better. They are vital, beautiful little creatures. Unless you come in my house, and then I'm calling Rose Extermination. Rose Extermination!
Sergeant Jabari Wright.
In the Army, I was trained as a combat lifesaver. In 2012, had an accident and became paralyzed. I was used to working in healthcare, and how am I supposed to help people? And I'm in a wheelchair now. It really severely impacted my confidence.
Jim Arndt, PAVE Program, Paralyzed Veterans of America.
PAVE helps veterans rebuild lives with valuable careers. We assess the skills, build the resumes, and help with the interviewing skills to be able to find a career that our veterans are looking for.
PVA took what I was doing in the military and helped me translate that to meaningful employment in the civilian sector. Hooking up with them helped to empower me.
PAVE really concentrates on the one-on-one relationships. Unlike other programs that measure success by placements alone, PAVE places greater emphasis on quality jobs and continued support, our Partner for Life guarantee.
To learn more, visit pva.org. A public service message from Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Listen, insurance is not something you want to gamble on.
Yeah, what my associate's trying to say is that James Carlton State Farm is really cool. You're not even going to believe it. Like, let's say you're driving along on the road with your family, and you're driving along, patch of ice, can't quite stop, boom, you bump into the guy next to you. James Carlton's got somebody out there ready to take care of you 24/7. You call them at 314-961-4800. Now, here's what happens with the other guy's insurance. You're driving along, kids are in the backseat. Daddy, I got to go to the bathroom. Not now, damn it. Ice. You can't stop. Here comes the adjuster. Adjuster gets out. He says, oh, my God. New guy's in the corner puking his guts out. All because you want to save a couple extra pennies. To me, it just doesn't make much sense.
Guys, check out carltoninsurance.net, 314-961-4800. If your insurance is costing you a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.
This is St. Louis Baseball Weekly.
Cardinals first baseman Paul Goldschmidt.
For me, it was easy, just fit in and do my part, and the culture here was so great and is so great that it was easy. I just came in kind of, if there's any knowledge I had, tried to share it, but I'm also very open to hearing other guys' opinions and, ways that I can get better. And so I think, with that attitude, it's been easy. And
St. Louis Baseball Weekly with Brian Stoll every Friday at noon right here on WGNU 920 AM.
WGNU the talk of St. Louis. Broadcasting on 920 AM and 106.9 FM.
Technology has evolved so quickly that the people running capitalism from the top no longer understand the tools that are necessary for it. They have to pay guys with ponytails and piercings to turn on the machines every morning. And that must be very terrifying to them.
Who's Your Sophisticate on WGNU with your hosts, Greg Kohler and Stephen Elgin. Oh, yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Who's Your Sophisticate here on WGNU 920 AM. We're going to bring Brian Stoley here in a second, talk a little Blues hockey. I know my buddy Steve's so fired up, and I feel inept sometimes. Like I like to have my sports conversations with Steve. I don't have much to offer in the ways of anything past, hey, they got to get in the dirty areas and muck it up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's basically
all
it.
I got, buddy.
That's basically it.
That's all I got.
I mean, the game's changed a lot from the days that you probably remember. I mean, the Blues were a big ticket in like 99.
That was even a little after me.
99.
That's right when I was moving away. So hockey coverage wasn't great in Springfield.
Yeah.
I'm talking like 96, 97. Like that's where
Cavallini brothers, late 80s.
That's the whole thing is like
Shanahan, Pronger. You remember any of that? Chopper.
Yeah, I remember. That's yes.
When we
traded Shanahan for Pronger, like probably watch
Gretzky
maybe
in 01. We got Gretzky right around there.
Earlier than that, wasn't it?
Maybe 99. That's when we were real good.
Yeah, it was like 98, 99. 98.
And he gave the puck up to Steve Yzerman. That's the different thing about this year. I'm not even going to talk about it, so I don't know what I'm going to
talk about it because I'm going to talk about it because I don't have those super systems attached to it. I have it as that's why I'm taking the
reins.
Taking the reins from you. As an outside, I've said this before, as just a casual observer of the game, of any professional team trying to get a championship. They got to have that mesh, that thing. And it always seems like even whenever, in the last couple of years, when they had Brouwer and everything, like that looked like it was going to be a pretty talented squad, pretty good.
We won 2 game sevens.
It just always seemed like they weren't quite.
And we lost to the Sharks.
Weren't quite having fun together. I don't think you can accuse this team of not having fun. And it always feels like to me, casual observer, they've never had the goalie in the playoffs. Had the goalie through the regular season, who was kind of the guy.
Have this goalie though? I mean,
guys, if you don't mind me interrupting, watching you guys talk about sports, it's just you just don't got it. So I'm going to bring in a seasoned sports talk veteran,
very good,
to help you guys out. Host of the Brian Stoll Show and STL Baseball Weekly, Brian Stoll.
How we doing, guys?
Hey, what's up, Stolly?
Hey, we're all good. What's happening?
Oh, not a darn thing. I'm just trying to learn these couple of bobos, a little something about sport, and I need you to get my back here, baby. Who is a bigger hero to this hometown, David Freese or Pat Maroon?
Oh, I think you still have to go with David Freese.
Thank you, sir.
That's 3 against 1.
All right, you want to rethink that? That was Brian Stahl. Everybody. Thanks for joining us, brother. It's been real.
Yeah. No. Let's break this down. I mean, I think that's an interesting question, but David Freese helped the Cardinals win the World Series. Patrick Maroon has helped the Blues advance halfway to winning the Stanley Cup. So it was a great moment. It's one that Blues fans, St. Louis sports fans are going to remember for years to come. I don't think Patrick Maroon's going to have to pay for another beer in this city ever again. David Freese doesn't have to pay for another dinner in this town ever again.
Listen, guy, the Cardinals got moment after moment after moment. I am 35 years old and I've seen the Monday Night Miracle 47 times. It's the saddest thing in the world. Let me have it, okay, Stolly? Gosh. No, we were breaking it down.
If the Blues don't win the Cup, then, I mean, you know what? They advance out of the second round. I mean, it's David Freese, 2011, it was a historic comeback for the team as a whole, and they won the World Series. They won the championship. The Blues have yet to do that. If the Blues win the Cup, then you know what? Maybe we revisit this conversation.
Yeah, and maybe he gets a Game 7 winner in the Cup, and then you guys will all be eating crow.
And Maroon has to have about, whatever, the equivalent of like 16, 18 points, whatever.
Okay, Freeze had a big series. Okay, I'll
Two
give
big
you
series.
guys that.
Two big series.
Big playoffs. He had a whole big playoffs. No, Craig was talking about before he came on about, this team kind of seems different. I don't really even want to talk about it, but I definitely feel that too. Seems like they have their happy flight to pull it back to baseball. Is there anything you notice about this team? I mean, you know better than us. Is there something different about this team?
You know what? I don't know if I want to say there's something different about this team, but I do think this team came together. And obviously, they were not together at the beginning of the season. I mean, it was a broken record of how many times they kept telling us, well, we took our foot off the pedal. We didn't play hard enough tonight. We didn't play for each other. I mean, it was over to where it was like, that happens once or twice. And you're like, okay, they stood up, they owned it. That's great. But it became so repetitive that you're like, well, how come nobody has a real answer to what's going on here? And after the coaching change, that's part of it. Craig Berube gets some credit. Jordan Bennington coming in, what he did to solidify the goalie play. But then everything else coming together. Some of the line shifts. Alexander Steen moving down to that fourth line did a lot. And then that third line, I mean, Patrick Maroon, he had the big goal, but really that line as a whole, you look at how Robert Thomas was playing and Bozak flying around, and then Maroon there in the middle creating some traffic. That's been a huge story here the second half as well. So I just think it's all of those things coming together at the right time to where, and then you mix in a song like Gloria that just kind of has a weird story. Like, where the heck did you find a Laura Branigan song from? And it's
My
like,
mom's
maybe this
tape
is it.
collection.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's necessarily different because I think there's been some really good teams that were here before, teams that were tight before. I mean, a couple of years ago, we saw David Backus crying, talking about how, Ott gave him that apparatus to get a better night's sleep, and that would be Backus taking his spot. So, the guys have been tight before, and you go through this sort of war of attrition, you either fall apart or you bond together, and the Blues have definitely bonded together. But now they have a chance to show that there is something different, to actually get past the Western Conference Final and get to where some of us have never witnessed in our lifetimes.
I think there's something to the fact that now they have a coach. Like, if they don't execute what he tells them to do, he's going to punch them square in the face. And I can appreciate, like, he's ready to get them all fired up, have a good time. But, like, seriously, try me, guys. Chief ain't that far removed from throwing some bombs. I'm going to put one on your teeth if you don't just go out there and hustle a little bit. I think there's something to that.
Well, I did hear that there were a couple of people maybe who were a little unfamiliar with Craig Berube's background, and they were shown some video of some of his highlights, and it did open a few eyes. And again, just maybe a little rumor, but it was a pretty reliable source. So there might be a little something to that.
Oh, yeah. They're like, oh, what are these outtakes from Slapshot with the Hanson brothers? Like, no, that's a real guy foiling it up and going out there and dropping bows on people.
Yeah, the real guy who's in the office right there who just told you should do this on your next shift.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then.
Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, we'll hustle. Yeah.
Be like, Mike Yo is not exactly the most
Mike
intimidating
Yeo
guy,
doesn't
and I love
exactly
him.
instill fear.
I was a big Yo guy. No, I think the team. I think it breaks down to a psychological edge too. I think that's what a lot of times a coach can do is instill confidence, and that threat of the punching in the mouth. But also, you're an elite athlete. You need that kind of a coach has got to know what strings to pull. What is there something we can put our finger on? Because obviously they didn't make very many big moves. They didn't. I don't think they made any really.
Would you even say Berube's the middle of Hitchcock and Yo, where like he's the hard ass that Hitchcock was, but he's also kind of the player's guy that Yo was?
I don't know. Berube has such a unique style, I feel like, and the bonds he's created with these guys. I think it only comes from going through those darkest moments. We were the last place team. We didn't really make that many moves, and we went on a run. We get this kid in goal, and winning solves a lot of problems. Is there something a coach can do, like, or something we can put our finger on that's like, oh, next time a team's really struggling, we're going to do A, B, and C to get them back? Do you know what I mean? Like, I guess that's the mystery of sports. So what do you think?
Well, I don't know if there's necessarily like something that you could repeat every year, but I think in the case of Craig Berube, you could look at him being consistent, maybe being brutally honest, and not in a, hey, I'm the smartest guy in the room sort of way, but just the fact of, this is what you need to do, and no matter what your name is, I'm not afraid to sit you down for a night. We saw a little bit of that. not trying to like point a finger at Joel Edmondson, but that was pretty surprising when he sat for a couple of games and Perron sat for a game, and Craig Berube never called any of them out. It wasn't a case that he lashed out, but I'm sure there were some private conversations. Jay Bomeister sat for a little while, and obviously him getting healthy. I mean, man, there are a lot of us. Hey, I'm raising my hand right now. I was really thinking, well, I guess Father Time finally caught up with him, but. Lo and behold, it was, that hip injury took a little longer to come all the way back. And now that he's back, he and Parayko played some outstanding hockey. But I just think it's Craig Berube. If you wanted to challenge him, well, you know what? He's got 10 answers for you that he carries at his sides all the time. But it was just a case of, look, you're not giving enough, or we need better here. I'm going with this. It wasn't personal. It wasn't, I'm going to blast you in the press. It was, I'm going to treat somebody on the top line the same way I'm treating you on the fourth line, whether you're a rookie or a first-year player or a veteran. I just think some of that consistency came in and maybe kind of stabilized some things. I think the level of accountability within the room was raised, and the goaltending is a big thing as well, because once you have that confidence that, yes, Binnington made the spectacular save that was terrific, but he also made the regular saves. And not to pick on Jake Allen, because, he made some nice plays and he's been there before, but it seemed like, man, a lot of those goals that he let in were just kind of the punch to the gut. And Bennington, to his credit thus far, knocking on wood, has been able to make those saves. And a team can skate better when they have confidence in the goaltender behind them.
Oh, for sure.
I'm coming around. I said I was going to be a Blues fan as soon as the Rams left town. I'm like, all right, I'm a hockey fan now. And this has definitely helped me out, especially being friends with Steve. From what I've observed, is Ryan O'Reilly hurt? Is he banged up?
I think he's got to be a little
bit. What?
Everybody is a little bit.
Yeah, everybody at this time of the year is a little banged up, but keep this in mind about Ryan O'Reilly as well. This is the most professional hockey he's played in a season. So, I mean, he's never made it to the second round prior to this season with St. Louis. So this is all bonus hockey, extended hockey for him. And he's charged with, taking on the big boys. He's one of the targets that the opposing team is going to try and shut down because of what he means to the Blues. But also you look at what he does defensively. And for him being hurt or tired or whatever the case may be, go back, I think it was in Game 6, and I forget who it was on Dallas, stole the puck and had a break. And it was a guy who should not have been caught. But Ryan O'Reilly put his head down, and he caught him. And he was able to get the stick in there so that the guy didn't even get the shot off on Bennington. That doesn't show up in the stat sheet, but it sure showed up as a guy who he may be playing on fumes right now, but he used him on that play.
Oh, but baseball players, they get a little blister and they can't even play anymore.
They played twice the amount of games.
No, I think that's the whole deal. We heard all the reports coming out of Dallas today about how banged up those guys were. I got to assume Thornton at this point in the playoffs, his bones have to be pretty much shattered. Joe Thornton, big Jumbo Joe from San Jose.
He looks like a prospector.
He is a nightmare. I've hated him. I've hated him ever since the Perron hit. I think most people in St. Louis do. What do we got to watch out for with this San Jose team?
Well, Thornton's a dude, but you know what? It's Joe Pavelski, their captain, who just seems to always have big games against the Blues. And similar to St. Louis, San Jose is a big team. They're pretty heavy. I do think that, the Avalanche showed the ability to get the puck down deep, which is what the Blues game is all about, taking that puck down deep and trying to cycle it in front or spring it out or let the defenseman shoot it back in. So the Blues in that regard, you can be hopeful, but this is going to be some big boy hockey. This is going to be some serious big boy, big banging hockey. So Patty Maroon, if he's not David Freese yet, he's going to have another opportunity here because he's going to be counted upon in a big way to repeat what he did in that second round.
Oh, that's what I like to hear right there. Yeah, no, we recently were looking at the biggest teams. I think that the Sharks, Winnipeg was up there, and I think the Blues maybe
were the biggest team left that was in the playoffs.
Left in the playoffs as far as average height and weight. But no, we're really gonna have to use that. That's why I think him putting Berube putting Blazin. I did not see that coming, and I didn't think Fabry was playing that bad. But, Blaze coming in and a kid taking a slap shot like that on a breakaway, I've never seen anything like it. So every little aspect of the way the team is rolling right now, and I think that comes with confidence. Yeah. This team just keeps building confidence.
Play loose when you got a wall behind you.
Yes, building confidence. Now, but that comes down to the goaltending, too. That's Martin Jones for San Jose. he looked like, dog crap for a while there. And now he's really starting to play. Who do you give the edge to in goal for this series?
Man, you know what? It's so hard to really go against, anything at this point. I think the teams are pretty evenly matched, but I'll just say this, since we see Bennington on a regular basis, I've really been impressed with just how calm, cool, and collected he is. Have you guys seen like the overhead videos of Bennington after all of the game-winning goals?
I haven't laughed so hard.
They're like, someone posted a video. It's like, check out Jordan Bennington's celebration, and he just skates off slowly with his head.
I mean, he just stays collected and good. So until we see otherwise, I really just have a hard time picking against him.
All right, so Blues in 4. That's what I'm getting from Stully. I like where your head's at.
Yeah, I don't think that's quite what I said.
That's what I just read into it. Okay,
Write it down. Stully said 4.
Do you have any predictions?
This series is going at least 6, if not 7. I mean, really, like I said, I think these teams are going to just absolutely put a hurting on each other. And you know what? I would expect the same on the other side with Boston and Carolina. Whatever 2 teams emerge out of this, man, I'll tell you what, they are going to be a battered team going to the Stanley Cup final.
Yep. And I would love to, obviously I'd love to see a St. Louis Boston final, kind of payback for us, giving them their World Series. I think that would be just sweet poetic justice. But talking about, this hometown kid, number 7 on the 7th, on game 7, like all this beautiful stuff. What's interesting is you're hearing a lot of these stories from San Jose, that San Jose is the team of destiny. They got that power play where Pavelski went down and is bleeding from his skull on the ice. And they end up scoring a bunch of goals. That was Pavelski. That was actually sound from the game from Pavelski.
When he took it in the head?
When he took it in the head. Which did you think that should have been a 5-minute penalty?
I think they got the call wrong. I'll put it that way. I think they got the call wrong. I think that you can't make the call based on how it looks when the actual play. Wait, let me explain this the right way. It looked worse. And when you look down on the ice, I understand why he called what he called, but it wasn't necessarily. It was just kind of an accident. It wasn't the 5 minutes. No, I think they got the call wrong. I don't think that it was a malicious, crazy cross check. I think it was just a case of the landing and his awkwardness when he fell made it look a lot worse than what it was.
I think he had a Kurt Schilling type blood bag sock situation in his head. He burst it, kind of like Mighty Ducks.
Flared his head with a razor blade?
No, he had a jelly sandwich in there like Goldberg from the Mighty Ducks. And that wasn't Goldberg, it was that other kid.
It was the kid from Little Giants.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
That's where we're going with that. No, I don't know where to go after that. I forgot. I had an awesome question.
I think that it's crazy to change the game's momentum with a 5-minute major on something like that.
Yeah, no. And we're hearing that San Jose is the team of destiny with all that stuff happening. And Jumbo Joe,
it's the Tuck rule.
This is his last year, right? Has he said this is his last year yet? I guess probably.
I don't think he said that. I don't think he'll announce that till afterwards. Well, you can, but I don't know. This whole team of destiny sort of thing. I mean, wouldn't you say that St. Louis is due? I mean, come on. So it's like, let's just let's get to the ice. Let's see the boys line up and play and watch it happen.
I love that they're on the West. I love that they're on the West Coast and we get to watch 7:00 games, 8:00 games. Yeah. Like that. They're not getting pinned with like 9:30, 10 o'clock starts. I don't even know what station they play it on anymore. What's going on at the NHL? Can we get a channel that shows the playoffs? What's going on?
And some home announcers. What's going on here?
I don't care.
NBC Sports Network.
All over it. Stoley, thank you so much for coming on, man. We appreciate you every time you do.
All right. Have fun around with you, fellas. Have a good weekend.
Thanks. All right. See you, brother.
Ryan Stoll.
He was kind of up in the air on that Maroon Freeze thing.
Yeah. He
it sounded like he had his decision.
He didn't want to commit.
It's not like he agreed with me and Craig, and
either way
wasn't even
one either way.
Wasn't exactly.
I appreciate that you're you're that committed to it, and I know how much this means to you, and I appreciate that.
We got a lot of new sponsors. Can I start telling you all about them?
Yeah, I suppose if you want to.
Okay, we got 2 new ones. Okay, it's Rose Extermination, spiders and mice.
Oh yeah.
Spiders and some mice.
Mm-hmm.
Spiders and some mice. Oh yeah. Spiders and some mice. If you have ants, I had ants already called Rose Extermination. They took care of me. All right, they'll spray your house. They don't make you get into a contract. My mom answers the phone. What more do you want?
Wakes up in the morning.
It's a neat her to meet, and she's rolling in every direction. That wasn't bad. It sounded good in my head.
That sounded really good.
It sounded like him, actually. It's
I was
not much of an
surprising
exaggeration.
They land between a road. I'll do this rest of the show.
845-610-101.
845-6101. 845-6101. Ask for the Cucky special.
You have to ask for the Cucky special. You will not get a discount if you don't.
They'll give you a discount.
It just kills me that there's a business in this city that has something called the Cucky
For the last
special.
3 years.
For the last 3 years. It's still
wow.
paying off. And also Truman's. They have sand volleyball. The Avett brothers really want to play. I'm Scott Avett, and I really want to play beach volleyball.
When did Scott Avett become like a British Kermit?
Hey, this is Scott Avett. It's a deep Kermit. Scott Avett. He's a little southern.
I don't know if that's Kermit doing a Ringo impression or Ringo doing a
Shut up, guys. It's Scott Avett. He wants to play a little volleyball. Where's he going to do it? Truman's, because they got the best beach volleyball
They got
sand in the
a
world.
menu.
They guarantee you won't find any needles in the sand. I'll tell you that much right now. That's a guarantee.
That's a hard guarantee.
I just had a delicious beer at Truman's, and you just lived through it. And that's awesome. Guys, the atmosphere for the game.
It was great. I think I want to watch the rest of the Blues game there.
We have to.
I think we're kind of, our hands are tied.
We have to.
Our hands are tied.
So yeah, go to Truman's, and call Rose Extermination. Google them too. I don't know. They're, listen, a lot of their online presence.
314-845-6101. Ask for the Cucky special.
Thank you.
Truman's and Soulard, though, man, I did want to say, like, we'd had the live show out there one time before.
I played guitar.
Got pretty fun. They got a great little patio. They do have the beach volleyball scene going on. Great little drink selection, but their food is top notch.
Top notch, baby.
And as far as sports bars go in Soulard, that's where you want to be.
That is where you want to be.
And they're our newest sponsor. And they're
our new sponsor. They're great. I like you.
I can live off of getting laughs out of integrity.
I know, it's a good feeling. That's a good feeling. I like it. Hey guys, this is Hoosier Sophisticate Radio. You can check us out online, WGNU920am.com. You can get us Mycelial Media. That's our YouTube channel, and HoosierSophisticate.com. That's where you can find all of our merch, all of our sweet, hot, piping, baby, get you all lathered up merch. Find it at HoosierSophisticate.com.
Let's jump to break. On the other side, we'll jump down the rabbit hole. We'll talk about what we're streaming. We're just going to get weird with it. This is Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU 920 AM. We'll see you on the other side.
Hey Hoosiers, Craig Kohler here. With home buying season heating up, be sure to get a quote from a top agency and provider of the #1 home insurer in North America. They offer coverage that's second to none. In fact, if your AC goes out, they offer a new endorsement where you can get a replacement from a local HVAC company. Give them a call, 314-961-4800. If you get a machine and you don't talk to a person, we'll give you one of these fine Hoosier Sophisticate tees. Just takes one phone call or apply online at carltoninsurance.net. People do business with James because they like and trust him. Just check them out on Google and Facebook. If your insurance is costing you a leg and an arm, then call James Carlton State Farm.
Hoosier Sophisticate with Craig Kohler and Stephen Elgin.
Is convicted LSD kingpin to best-selling author Seth Ferranti.
I was in prison. I was really writing for my peers. I wasn't writing for the street. I was with like Italian mafia dudes. I was with like Colombian cocaine cartel dudes. And, all those dudes, there were books about that, guys. But a lot of the African-American gangsters, gangster rap was really big in this time, mid-90s.
Oh, yeah.
You just heard their names and everybody was talking about them. And, I'm on these compounds and there's these myths and legends. So that's why I decided to write about them.
Hoosier Sophisticate, Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. on WGNU.
Let's get weird and take a trip with Hoosier Sophisticate, a one-of-a-kind pro-liberty radio show hosted by two psychonauts who bring you topics covering cannabis reform, plant medicine and alternatives to other medicine, conspiracy theories, and other topics you won't find anywhere else on the St. Louis airwaves. Using their own brand of humor and intellect, they'll break it down and bring you interesting guests from all over the country. That's Hoosier Sophisticate Radio, presented by Mycelial Media, hosted by Stephen Elgin and Craig Kohler. Catch them every Friday from 8 to 10 p.m. here on WGNU.
Spiders are found on nearly every continent on the bugs and arachnids, and insects and other little critters are vital to the Earth's homeostasis, keeping our planet in balance and making all of our lives better. They are vital, beautiful little creatures.
Unless you come in my house, and then I'm calling Rose Extermination. Rose Extermination!
Hey there, Krager.
Well, hey, Steve.
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I do fangled hemp oil. I just don't know where to find a good one.
Well, I find the best full spectrum hemp oil from MomedCanco.com.
Where?
I get it from MomedCanco.com.
Is it expensive?
It don't cost 2 kittens whiskers. And if you enter HooSoph in the promo box, you're going to get yourself 15% off.
Buddy, it sounds like we're squatting tall cotton.
Darn right we are.
Where can I find them?
You can find them online, MomedCanco.com, Missouri Medical Cannabis Company.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. Lifetime Roofing, where you at? Lifetime Roofing, where you at? Okay, a lot of people have come out and tried to talk game on Lifetime Roofing. Well, guess what? It's time for a little clap back. Let's get it, though. Lifetime Roofing now. If you just Google Lifetime Roofing, why? If you Google it, Lifetime Roofing is just the truth. It's the truth. I got the proof. Lifetime Roofing and doofing and doofing. And you just Google goo. And you just Google goo. And it's a Lifetime Roofing and it's just a proof. Lifetime Roofing and doofing and just a Google it. Lifetime Roofing and goofing. I just go Google it. But seriously, Google Lifetime Roofing and Renovation. They're excellent.
Right.
In the Army, I was trained as a combat lifesaver. In 2020 accident and I was used to working in healthcare and how am I supposed to help people, and I'm in a wheelchair now. It really severely impacted my confidence.
Jim Arndt, PAVE Program, Paralyzed Veterans of America.
PAVE helps veterans rebuild lives with valuable careers. We assess the skills, build the resumes, and help with the interviewing skills to be able to find a career that our veterans are looking for.
PVA took what I was doing in the military and helped me translate that to meaningful employment in the civilian sector. Hooking up with them helped to empower me.
PAVE really concentrates on the one-on-one relationships. Unlike other programs that measure success by placements alone, PAVE places greater emphasis on quality jobs and continued support, our Partner for Life guarantee.
To learn more, visit pva.org. A public service message from Paralyzed Veterans of America.
You're on the line with the Z-Man.
Jump online with the Z-Man weekdays at 4 p.m.
I think Steen has anchored this quote-unquote number 4 line and moved them up to a number 3 line. But either way, you're going to get some secondary scoring from both of those lines, and that is huge.
From the best fans in baseball to all of us that bleed blue, the Z-Man Mike Zarek has the latest in sports. Online with the Z-Man, weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. here on WGNU.
WGNU, the talk of St. Louis. Broadcasting on 920 AM and 106.9 FM.
Now, the universe has been going on for an incredible long time. And so, really, a satisfactory theory of the universe has to be one that's worth betting on. If you make a theory of the universe which isn't worth betting on, why bother? Just commit suicide. But if you want to go on playing the game, you've got to have an optimal theory.
What's here? At first, they have to find them.
Who's Your Sophisticate on WGNU with your hosts, Greg Kohler and Stephen Elgin. Oh, yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Who's Your Sophisticate on WGNU 920 AM. Fun little hockey talk there. Fun little hockey talk with our boy Brian Stoll.
Hockey talk. He's good. He's
Kidding me? You're kidding me?
This does it?
I don't know.
He wakes up in the morning. Doesn't he
like to eat? Talk about a cool little story I ran across today. It was, I believe it was on CNBC. Let's take a little trip down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. Let's go. Rabbit hole me. Put your little rabbit's foot in my little rabbit's hole.
Mexico has drafted plans to decriminalize all currently illegal drugs. After admitting that the current war on drugs is endangering public safety, Mexico President Andrés Manuel López Obrador sketched out the country's radical change of plan in his administration's National Development Plan for 2019 through 2024, released last week. Under a new approach, drugs would not become legal, but arrests would be replaced by enforcing medical treatments, including detoxification programs and attempts to break addictions. The only real possibility of reducing the levels of drug consumption is to lift the ban on those that are currently illegal. Obrador policy statement read, and redirect the resources currently destined to combat their transfer and apply them in programs, massive but personalized, of reinsertion and detoxification. This sounds a lot like the model in Portugal. Sounds like a decriminalization model, and one that I am firmly on board with. I would love to see the United States adopt a similar ideology towards defeating the true addiction problem that we face. We've seen a little bit of movement with some arrests being made of big pharma CEOs. So I feel like, I feel like Mexico is doing something that, in a roundabout way, is going to force the hand of the United States, because at some point there's going to be a lot of, I think, finger wagging and saying, well, because Mexico refuses to enforce any kind of laws down there, we have to really amp up our border security and everything, which is all nonsense.
Build the wall.
It's all nonsense.
Listen, I like to have fingers in my rabbit hole. You know what I mean? I'm frustrated, Craig. I got real frustrated this week, and I don't know. I posed a question online, and I didn't mean anything by it. It was my own frustrations getting out there. But I said, why in the world is it taking so long for cannabis to be legalized in Missouri, or the 33rd state? I just feel like it should be moving a little quicker. And I get it. I know that there's a lot that goes into it, and I respect the hell out of everyone who's helped get this thing done, because a lot of people are going to benefit from the hard work and sweat of kind of a few people. But you get to live with that for the rest of your life. That's a beautiful thing, and you get to go to sleep at night knowing that you were one of the ones who did the deal. But I'm frustrated. The fact that I'm just frustrated with all of it. At this point, we have so much information. I'm so upset that the federal government has not said, yes, cannabis is a medicine and it should be recreationally legalized, federally taken off the scheduling. Mm-hmm. Canada did it faster. I want to say their vote and their legalization, and now this isn't maybe building all the infrastructure, but was roughly a little over a year. That's a country legalizing a plant. And this is medicinal. I just wish, and this probably wouldn't have got voted on, so this is wishful thinking. And I know, looking back on it, I wish they would have said, okay, floodgates are open, because we have this magical period in Missouri where it's the Immaculate Conception period. Mm-hmm. You can't get seeds in here, Craig. You can't get clones in this state. You can't get plants. There's no weed in this state, buddy. And we're supposed to get a weed program. How are we supposed to do that? It's illegal to ship them across state line.
We got a year to immaculately conceive.
Exactly. And I think with that, with us writing something so stupid in the legislature, something so brilliant, but also so dumb that we have to say, look at these rules that we have to trick from ourselves. We have to say, okay, we have to put into writing that we're tricking, that we're lying to ourselves. I just wish that they could have said, no one's getting arrested for it anymore. We are a totally open and free state. Oregon, send your stuff. If you get caught, that's on you. But guess what? We're outlaws. We're Missouri. We're the outlaw state, baby. Come and get us, federal government. Come and get us, okay? Because how long are we going to wait for the rulers to tell us that what medicine is and what medicine isn't? We're seeing it in Denver. This is one city. And it's like, what? Oh my God, I can't believe they're doing it. Cannabis is huge. Wait till you see what we can do with psilocybin, with LSD, with DMT, with ayahuasca, with ibogaine, with all of these psychotropics. Is that the correct word for it?
Psychoactives. Yeah.
With all of these substances that let us dig a little bit deeper. And I was watching a documentary with Terrence McKenna, and he seems like, if you listen to him long enough, you're like, this guy is a legit psychopath, a brilliant psychopath. He just sees through all of the BS at this point. He's gone into the void so many times that it really doesn't. He's like Dr. Manhattan to me at the end of his life. He's like, well, I got a block in my energy field ahead, and we're all just energy, and it's all these different things. So just wait till we see the medicinal aspects of these. And I'm just sick and tired of being told you can do this. And over this state line, we talk to the awesome people, those girls who are running the show out in Kansas City. Shout out to Normal KC. Those women are bad to the bone. And we ask them, we say, what happens if you cross State Line Road when all this passes? They're like, it's completely illegal. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. And I'm like, wait, in St. Louis, we have this big river. So I kind of know. I'm like, well, I can't swim over there with weed. Over there, literally, it's an imaginary line. It reminds me of George Young, that part and blow.
Yeah.
It ain't me, babe.
Took some plants across an imaginary line.
It ain't me, babe.
And the judge says, the plants are illegal, and the line is very real.
Yeah, I know. But it's not, though.
I mean, listen, we talk about Mexico
that
going to a full decriminalization of all substances, which I think that's a common sense thing to do. In 2001, Portugal decriminalized drug possession. Maintained a non-prohibition stance ever since. Cato did a study in 2015, and it suggested that even though heroin use didn't go down, it hadn't declined. Drug-related outcomes like deaths due to drug uses and sexually transmitted diseases had decreased sharply. So the idea is to fight a war on something that people are actively and voluntarily participating in. You're criminalizing a free act between consenting people.
Yeah.
Right. And if you can provide a safe place for that to be done, your society has and taken not even the amount of money that we're spending towards. And that's the whole thing. I feel like right now, I'll say it, the shadow government, like there are definitely defense contractors. There are all kinds of people that stand to gain a ton, private defense contractors, whatever. There's all kinds of people that stand to gain a ton financially for us to continue arming different sides of warlords in Central American and African countries and Middle Eastern countries. Like that's big business. You are stepping on yes, the common sense thing would be, hey, it's just legal. It's just legal. Maybe, okay, don't be a minor with it. Don't be less than 20. If it's got to be 21, which I think is crazy, you can sign up to go fight for your country and you can't consume a beer. Or I think 18 is consenting age, period. But you have this opportunity where we could have said, hey, this is crazy that we're fighting a war against something that people are actually asking for. Some people medically need. But now that you have people that are pro cannabis, but now have life savings and life's work invested in it, now you're not just fighting a prohibitionist government. You're also fighting invested interests in it. So there's never going to be a point now when it's just like, oh, grow at your own will and sell at your own. That's never, ever, ever going to happen. Ever.
Okay. I want to tell this to the fans because it's something we've been talking about lately too. We as the consumers, and we're patients at this point. But once we become the consumers of cannabis, it's our choice at that point, because cannabis has ruined the lives of so many people of darker pigmented skin. For real. For so long, we have been throwing people in jail at an exorbitant rate. When a white kid who goes to CBC, if I get caught with weed, it's probably a different story than a kid they're already looking for trouble in the city or something. I'm sorry, it's been proven. Anslinger, we had was it Nixon's guy? His listen. So we as the consumers need to make choices to make sure we don't give our dollars to people who have made money off of throwing people in cages over cannabis. Okay. Like that's something we can do at our end of the spectrum. And you can do that. That's why the market is great. We always get the choice. I'm sitting here consuming a Coke. I could very well choose to drink a ski from Breeze, Illinois or something. We can vote with our dollars. Sure. And whenever cannabis comes to town in hopefully early 2020, support the people who have been doing it and doing it right, and that you trust in and that you care for, because those are the people who are going to be growing this economy. We do need the big boys. And I'm not saying that's like, oh, if Coca-Cola gets into the weed, well, it's fine. That's fine. There's a place for them, but we can also make decisions that can make our community thrive. Yeah. And it's from ending the drug war. How does that work though in Portugal? Like, do you know with the drugs?
Yeah. So they basically, rather than criminalizing it and arresting people for being in possession or using, what they did was they diverted all those dollars that they were spending on their war on drugs into health programs. So they said, we're no longer going to treat it as a criminal act. We're going to treat it as a criminal problem. We're going to treat it as a health problem. So they have safe injection sites. And I know people roll their eyes at that, but yeah, if you haven't been there, if all your perspective on the world of drug use and addiction is the bad guy that you see in the streets, I got news for you. There are functioning heroin addicts that are making very big decisions in your life. You see the junkie on the street. I promise you, there's doctors and money managers that are doing meth. There's doctors and money managers and government politicians that are using very hard drugs. So please don't think for a second that this is just like something that hits the poor and uneducated. It's not. They're
the ones who go to jail for it.
Those are the people. Yes. No. Who was the last Hollywood star that got busted?
Robert Downey Jr.
Okay, great. Did he spend life in jail?
He's the king of the world right now, Craig.
He had to mess up a bunch. I mean, he had to mess up a bunch just to get a couple of years or whatever. Now he's Iron Man.
Yeah, king of the movie landscape.
The bottom line is that there are addiction is a real thing, man. And for whatever reason, the people try it the first time. People say, well, I got an answer for that. Don't try it first time. Okay, well, that answer's gone because it's already been tried by many people. Those people are suffering. They deal with depression. By the way, a lot of them were just in accidents or in immense pain that their doctors threw an gross amount, just a sick amount of prescription pain meds to. And when they couldn't afford prescriptions anymore, heroin or fentanyl on the street became the next viable option to feed something that their body literally needed. So don't, before you find yourself on a high horse scoffing at the idea of legal injection sites, just understand that the amount of people that are going to use, whether or not that injection site exists or not, that's not going to grow. They're like someone that decides to do heroin, they're like, I'm going to try it now. There's a legal injection site. That's not how it works. What it does do is it creates a safe place for people to take something that they can slowly be weaned off of. In order to do that, they have groups that counseling groups of people that are actually going through those kind of pains and that kind of suffering and being able to share that story. They can pull each other out of that mess. It's a much more cost-effective way of handling things. It's a much more empathetic way of handling things where you're actually trying to attack the problem. We talk about school shootings. We talk about all of these things. We talk about how we as a country are drugged up and depressed. And yet we decide to make the drugged up and depressed an enemy. That is insane to me. Those are the people that need leaders to take them and say, this ain't you. And if this has got to be you for a minute, you're going to do it in a safe place because you're worth it. Versus I'm going to throw you in a cage, and as soon as you get back out, you're going to keep repeating this cycle.
That's not rehabbing anybody.
It's not fixing anybody.
Well, let's imagine a world, if you will, where you're messed up. Maybe you have a ceremony. Maybe when you become a criminal or get addicted to heroin, maybe you do an ibogaine treatment instead of being thrown in a I mean, prison's got to be the worst, man. And I know, it's not as terrible. Some people say. I mean, Seth Rogen was like, it's not the worst. It's terrible. It's not TV bad, maybe, but still, all your freedom's taken away. Like, oh my!
Does it get worse than that? I mean, does it really get worse than having all of your freedom stripped from you?
I guess dying. I don't know. I guess that's what.
I mean, I think that's the more. I don't want to.
Yeah, I know. But I think once we start looking at that a little differently, but you talk about decriminalizing drugs, I think people start thinking, oh, well, then I'll just be able to buy heroin at Walgreens.
That's not how it works. It's just not how it works.
I'll be able to buy heroin at Walgreens, Craig. And then I'll try it.
That's the problem. Is
but you can buy. You can get the pills at Walgreens.
Complex problems require complex solutions, or sometimes very basic solutions. Sometimes the more complex, like I'm going to do this, and this, if this occurs. Oh, I had no idea all of these unintended consequences were going to happen as a result of my action. Sometimes the best action is, hey, we're just going to make it safe, but we're also going to spend so much more of our time educating and actually helping people, educating why to never start, and also, making sure that if for some reason you're already living that life, you're worth it to keep around. Whatever that thing is, whatever that moment is that snaps you out of that addiction, whatever that moment is that makes you a contributing member to society again, to be a neighbor, to be a mentor for someone who's going through the same struggles you were going through 2 years ago. Those doors are opened up by treating it like a health problem and not criminalizing these people and making them out to be some kind of villains. Man, we get it. Okay, we get it. From up there, we can see you in your ivory tower, and we can see, oh, you should have never tried it. Well, I did. I'm sorry. Am I allowed?
I was looking for an answer.
Am I allowed to be better? I don't know.
No, you're dead on. And we posted something on our page, which I thought was a hilarious. A little post was about the Kentucky Derby, saying, "What is your a symptom of your psychosis or whatever mixed with the food you last ate." So mine was like self-deprecating chicken wing or what I mean? A self-deprecating hot dog. So everybody had like really, really funny ones. They actually sounded like horse names. I couldn't believe how many people suffer from anxiety, being anxious. You don't necessarily suffer. Maybe when we get a little too buzzed or whatever.
No, yeah. Mine was, I don't know, like self-centered salami or something.
Yes. Yeah. Which that horse is going to run.
Self-centered salami. He's a mutter.
He's going to run, baby.
He likes to muck it up. He's on a wet day.
Block somebody out.
If he's in the 11 post, he's going to come in. He's going to go right to the rail.
He's going to block you out, and he's going to get disqualified.
You do not want a part of self-centered salami.
Kentucky Derby talk. Yeah. No, but as society today, I feel like depression and anxiety are more prevalent now than ever. And is it one of those things that you say, oh, well, we're just paying more attention to it now? Or do tribesmen, when I was watching that documentary that showed all the Terrence McKenna stuff, it was like The Way of the Shaman on Amazon. Mm-hmm. And the way these tribes lived, their big problem was the oil companies and all that stuff. And I was wondering, they're just taking over their land. And I was wondering, like, do they get anxious? Like, I'm sure they do about, a hunt or maybe the seeds aren't growing well. It's a simpler life, and you want to
say there's still anxiety attached to life events.
Sure, but all of this weird, anxious stuff that we put ourselves through in this society,
it has to do everything with these screens, man.
You think?
I think that. I don't think that I'm being too forward to say that the average adult spends more than half of every waking day with a screen in their face. I mean, maybe 8 hours, but that all the time. And of that 8 hours, I mean, Facebook is the most visited website there is.
I think YouTube.
Okay.
YouTube a little bit more.
Which even illustrates it even more. The amount that we are watching other people live life, the amount that we are watching other people create content and everything. And while you're at it, subscribe to Mycelial Media on YouTube.
I was just going to get to that.
The amount that we're spending all of our time watching other people, it only naturally makes us more anxious about what we're not doing. And it only takes away more time from carving that path that we do. I think we're all spending a lot of time just kind of seeing what the other people are doing. Like our eyes are on our neighbors' plates all the time. You look at the most successful people, they're the people that have, outside of like social media superstars, right? Yeah. Like they're the people that spend the least amount of time making small. They might check in, they might get some likes or whatever, but they're not contributing a whole ton to that.
They don't need it. They're above that.
Well, it's because They got a goal they're marching towards. That goal is like, this is just all kind of extra.
But we're rapidly navigating a world that if I want to be a maestro in piano, I might want to watch a couple 100 hours of YouTube.
I think right now YouTube can teach you to be a tradesman.
So
it can teach you to be a you can learn anything you want to learn at home from the comfort of your own
and
home.
we're learning how to navigate that world.
Yeah.
Because we talked about, kids were a little younger and you're like, get off the screen, man. I can, go to sleep. I'm only giving you 30 minutes a day. Okay. You do some meditation, then you get the phone, and we try to have all these things.
Yeah.
And then you hear about Philadelphia building 25,000 seat stadium, e-game stadium, and we're screaming at our boys before we leave. You guys get enough Fortnite today? Did you get enough Fortnite in?
Yeah.
Where are we at?
What are you doing? Guys, this is all counting towards something. There's a new season out, just came out the other day. Here's the battle pass. God. Get behind the controller and go make daddy some money.
Oh, God. Guys, Hoosier Sophisticate Radio, we just break it all down here. What a good little conversation me and you just had.
How about that? You know what I'm excited about, man? Like we are to the counterpoint to build on your point there is, we have a digital world where currency is digital and we have avatars in all different kinds of corners of the internet that represent who we are or represent who we want to be. And some people do get more comfortable in that space and they get to not worry about if this is just a skin bag, right, and more consciousness, then there's something that's pretty evolved about saying, no, I'm going to lock this thing into this seat and just see where my imagination takes me.
This is why we're evolved, baby. These
VR, man, VR is going
and
to.
Augmented reality.
I'm super excited about augmented reality. I think you think about Google Glass was just so far ahead of its time, and so I heard someone say we were ready for all the answers to be right here at our fingertips.
Trussell.
But to attach it to our face,
we weren't ready for
it. We were not ready for it to attach to our. Was it Duncan?
We were not ready for an alien life form to attach to our face yet. We still thought that was too crazy.
But I don't think we're far from it now.
We were a little bit. We didn't really necessarily need these 24/7 when the Google Glass came out. I mean, we did. Some people did, but. No, I think we're rapidly reaching a point where they're just gonna straight up inject us.
Oh, you think Google doesn't have a team that's working on?
I'm injected
the contest
for sure.
Are you putting a chip in you? You putting you gonna pay with your chip?
My own.
You made it in your basement?
Well, I don't know. If I can find a nice little hacker group to become friends with. I found a nice little veteran support group, a nice little hacker group too. I just want to have really just powerful friends because I'm just a frail little guy.
We talk about fears. Maybe it might be my only fear is I don't trust anybody putting electronics in me.
What if you helped them build it?
No, because everything has proven to be able to be hacked.
You lift up your shirt, you have a laser disc player.
Yeah, I tried that once.
Yeah.
Betamax.
Yeah, I missed out, man.
I went Betamax. They went the other. They went VHS. I don't know. Let's jump to break, guys. That was a really fun little rabbit hole. I had some fun anyway.
Me too, Craig. I had a lot of fun with you.
This is Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU 920 AM. On the other side of the break, maybe we'll do a little bit of streaming picks. What do you think? See you on the other side.
I love you.
I love you. You can get an insurance quote anywhere. What people are really looking for is someone to help manage the risk of everyday life. And that's exactly what James Carlton State Farm does. He's also dangerously handsome. He has a dream in his eyes.
James Carlton has the best customer service in the game. You'll never get a voicemail, and you'll always get a great back rub.
He has the softest hands. A strong sense of community is important to who he is as an agent. From local school sponsorships to sandbagging during floods, it's paramount to be a part of the community. We love the cut of his jib.
Guys, call 314-961-4800. Find him online at carltoninsurance.net.
We wish he was our dad.
Hey there, Krager.
Well, hey, Steve.
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I've been pretty good.
Well, that's good. Hey, you heard anything about them newfangled hemp oils they got now?
I just don't know where to find a good one.
Well, I find the best full spectrum hemp oil from Momed Kenco. MoMedCanCo.com. Where? I get it from MoMedCanCo.com. Is it expensive? It don't cost 2 kittens whiskers. And if you enter HooSoph in the promo box, you're going to get yourself 15% off.
Buddy, it sounds like we're squatting tall cotton.
Darn right we are.
Where can I find them?
You can find them online, MoMedCanCo.com, Missouri Medical Cannabis Company.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
It lasts a lifetime.
Come on.
It lasts a lifetime.
Yeah.
And just go Google it. I wanna let those shingles down, girl, for you. I wanna let those shingles down, boy, for you. I'm gonna do some siding, get you excited. James Hardy siding. Google it.
Rooftop for a lifetime. You know I make your neighbors cry. Boo. Cause we tell all the leaks go bye. And you know we all do the side.
James Hardy, boy, yeah. Guys, Lifetime Roofing. We're the best roofers in the game. Best customer service. LifetimeSTL.com. Google them.
Sergeant Jabari Wright.
In the Army, I was trained as a combat lifesaver. In 2012, had an accident and became paralyzed. I was used to working in healthcare and how am I supposed to help people, and I'm in a wheelchair now. It really severely impacted my confidence.
Jim Arndt, PAVE Program, Paralyzed Veterans of America.
PAVE helps veterans rebuild lives with valuable careers. We assess the skills, build the resumes, and help with the interviewing skills to be able to find a career that our veterans are looking for.
PVA took what I was doing in the military and helped me translate that to meaningful employment in the civilian sector. Hooking up with them helped to empower me.
PAVE really concentrates on the one-on-one relationships. Unlike other programs that measure success by placements alone, PAVE places greater emphasis on quality jobs and continued support, our Partner for Life guarantee.
To learn more, visit pva.org, a public service message from Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Spiders are found on nearly every continent on the earth. Bugs and arachnids, and insects and other little critters are vital to the Earth's homeostasis, keeping our planet in balance and making all of our lives better. They are vital, beautiful little creatures.
Unless you come in my house. And then I'm calling Rose Extermination. Rose Extermination!
Listen, insurance is not something you want to gamble on.
Now, what my associate's trying to say is that James Carlton State Farm is really cool. You're not even going to believe it. Like, let's say you're driving along on the road with your family, and you're driving along, patch of ice, can't quite stop, boom, you bump into the guy next to you. James Carlton's got somebody out there ready to take care of you 24/7. You call them at 314-961-4800. Now, here's what happens with the other guy's insurance. You're driving along, kids are in the backseat. Daddy, I got to go to the bathroom. Not now, damn it. Ice. You can't stop. Here comes the adjuster. Adjuster gets out. He says, oh, my God. New guy's in the corner puking his guts out. All because you want to save a couple extra pennies. To me, it just doesn't make much sense.
Guys, check out carltoninsurance.net, 314-961-4800. If your insurance is costing you a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.
Let's face it, you're a product of a nutty society, and there are unexamined crevices and uncleaned out drain traps in all of us. And And you're going to encounter that stuff. The good news is the earlier psychedelic trips tend to deal with that.
Say word, Radio Land. We're coming at you live with Steve and Craig on Who's Your Sophisticate, presented by Mycelio Media. Now, St. Louis, let's do this.
This is not tea, this is eating raw mushrooms. As soon as the mushroom enters my body, I sit and meditate.
Welcome back to Who's Your Sophisticate Radio, Steve, on Mycelio Media. Streaming live at WGNew920am.com. I thought you were going to bring us back.
I tricked him.
I just want to say how much I love our new time slot. We got people mopping.
Yeah,
it smells good, mopping the studio as we do a show. Thanks for that, Steve.
I'm real sensitive to smells. Okay, guys.
WGNU.
Thank you.
Thank
you for that. Thank you for that. Now I'm on tilt. Here's the deal.
Integrity.
Who would you guys F, marry, or kill?
Okay.
James Carlton, Blake Bell, or Dustin McClendon? I'm going to use their full name.
Their government names?
Yep.
Okay, well.
Marry or kill. Give me reasons too.
That's easy.
Okay. Let's go. Should we let Seth go first since he doesn't know? Seth, you go first.
I'm thinking of mine right now.
Okay. Blake
definitely. Okay, I've got mine. I'm going to marry Dustin.
Okay. Dustin is lifetime STL.
We have
go Google it.
We've had some great conversations
Second-hour sponsor.
at Parlor and anytime we've hung out.
Great
gramophone.
Great conversationalist too.
I could spend the rest of my life with him.
Him and his gal hid a hot dog. Slid a hot dog.
I don't think he had anything to do with it. I think you gotta give
No, it was a pretty good little prank. Pretty good little prank. But it was like a little hot dog.
It was a hot dog prank.
It was funny.
You know, she just runs up to me. She's like, "We got to get out of here." She knows. I was like, "You're just freaking out."
We came in. She had a hot dog in her waistband.
Okay, so lifetime STL.
That's who you're marrying.
I gotta F James.
Oh yeah,
that hair.
Oh yeah. James Carlton is James Carlton State Farm.
CarltonInsurance.net.
CarltonInsurance.net. We wish he was our dad.
314-961-4800.
And I'm gonna kill Blake just because that's the only option left.
Okay, Blake Bell, Missouri Medical Cannabis Company.
Who would you rather play frisbee with? Can that be like the third choice? Like, I'll play frisbee with Blake.
Give me frisbee. Oh, give me death.
Yeah, that's just like Patrick Henry.
I'll kill Blake.
All right, he murdered Blake. MoMedCanco.
Sorry, Blake.
Enter HooSoph. 15% off.
Put me right in the corner.
All right, here. Craig. Let's hear some answers with some thoughtful responses.
Well, I think that naturally, James Carlton State Farm is already doing such a good job of taking care of me. I feel like he's already sworn an oath to me for my whole life. And I carry his banners.
I like that.
Okay?
See,
so
are we doing like live reads for each one? Because I didn't catch on.
I'm going to marry James
I just
Carlton.
I want to kill Blake.
I'm going to marry James Carlton. I know that I can always get a hold of him at 314-961-4800. No matter what time of day it is. I can get him.
So he's marrying CarltonInsurance.net.
I am. Now, this is where it gets a little weird.
Yeah,
because I'm going to invite both Blake from Missouri Medical Cannabis Company. And if I enter HooSoph at Blake's site, we can get some of his MoMedCanco massage oil. Okay. So I'm going to
peanut butter.
Or peanut butter. And peanut butter. Okay. And honey, buddy. And honey.
Buddy.
I got this whole 9.5 weeks thing planned. Okay. But the thing is that what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite both Blake and Dustin McClendon of Lifetime Roofing, Roof, into the bedroom at the same time.
Oh, hell no.
I didn't know that was an option. I didn't know that was an option.
In a mix of honey and peanut butter and just slippery massage oil, we're going to bang it out to the death. So one of us is going to die.
That's where
this is where I'm thinking is the best way to go. Otherwise, I'm going to have my way with Dustin, and then I'm taking him out.
Blake is definitely going to bang one of you to death if you let him.
Right,
he's got that look in his
I've got to
eyes.
assume.
Let's tone it down.
Okay, I've got to assume.
We're
I've got to
bang him like a door.
Yeah,
like with a hammer.
like a
bang him with a
hammer.
hammer.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I meant. Someone farted in here so bad. Either that's the mop. Oh my god, that's the worst thing ever.
You gotta just smoke out the friggin' studio.
You couldn't step outside.
Not even a
dude?
host either.
Jesus
Just
Christ,
Second,
just
this is the second show
He
related.
could have
to
just
the
been
guy
like,
on the
"Hey, I'll be
couch.
back," even though it doesn't matter. I'm not even.
Oh my.
Are you playing the game, Steve? Are you playing the game?
And I am going to listen.
Let's go.
Here's the deal. I'm gonna marry Blake.
I'm gonna kill Kyle
because I just feel like he's the bigger version of me, looks wise, kind of like, and it would just be like a cute little thing to do, like pictures.
Yeah, you guys
both
can wear
dress
matching
same,
sweaters.
and he's like a big.
It's like twins. That's just
Yes.
crawling this way to me right now.
It's the worst, isn't it? It's the worst. My eyes are watering.
Okay,
dude.
okay. So you're
Whoa!
you're entering
You-
matrimony.
This is a worse reaction than spicy trivia.
I
you made it through
His
that.
eyes are
better.
watering.
Marion Blake.
Okay, you're
I got
married.
new context. No one said anything. I'm Marion Blake, and then I'm going to just. Dustin always knows how to have a really good time, and he looks good in clothes.
Okay,
And
He looks good in clothes.
I bet he looks better out of clothes.
Okay.
So I'm going to.
You're gonna kill Jimmy Ballgame.
I'm gonna bone Dustin until I can't bone no more.
We're dropping that one.
Okay. Finally got one.
Let's go ahead and try.
And then I'm
Perform
going to
coitus.
kill-
Perform coitus.
I'm going to. That's putting it politely.
Yeah, technically.
And then I'm going to kill James of CarltonInsurance.net because I'm sure he's hooked up with a nice life insurance policy, so his family's. Gonna be
Oh,
all right.
that's a good play. That's a good play.
I was not prepared for this.
Yeah, he's kind of
I'm gonna beat Blake to death with a tire iron.
Listen, this is why our sponsors pay the big bucks, because nobody has ever read their sponsors in a game of FMK.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay,
so.
it's
See how
never,
the last option? It's like, who'd you want to make love to, spend the rest of your life with, and murder?
well, listen,
you
but
just-
the thing is
shot.
you've heard the music that I listen to when I make love. It's
Yeah.
always teetering.
No, I
on death.
haven't.
It's all yes. We had whole rejoins. We had rejoins.
Oh,
Nine Inch Nails guy.
Nails.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
probably like
But-
mindless self
Hey,
indulgence.
the fact that you said that so quick though makes me think that you guys have boned and he's heard the music during it. 'Cause he was like, "No, I haven't."
Well, I mean,
No, I put Seth.
it really depends. I've never heard it before ever.
That's Seth making coitus juice.
What?
What?
Can you say that?
I'm about to take your mic away.
That's what Seth sounds like. Can we hear the Seth penis drop?
You can't just call for a drop because it crossed your mind.
But integrity.
Play the drop.
It's my
Integrity is
favorite
happy
show.
to oblige.
It's my favorite show, so I'm gonna call drops out whenever
Listen.
I want to, and that's just how it goes.
When
Seth has to have a huge penis. I mean, no way God is that cruel.
What? Actually, didn't Blake say that?
No, it was on your roast.
I know,
Like
but
he
didn't
pets
I get
rabbits
that?
too hard.
Whoa, wait, go back.
Seth holds the world record for human brain going without oxygen.
Back is
26
in the
years and
last one
counting.
that played.
Seth looks like he pets rabbits too hard.
Was that
great.
Blake?
That was me. That was it.
Oh, I thought
We are
Blake.
the only ones who come up with fun
I'm trying to.
stuff.
Blake was there and
If
ripped
it's a
on me, right?
literary reference,
Because
it's
I
an
want to
outside shot, it was
justify
me.
wanting to kill him or being
Oh,
forced
yeah.
to kill him.
Yeah, he said a lot of bad stuff about you for sure.
Okay, cool.
Like
I
just
don't-
The only way
personally.
Seth will ever get laid is if he crawls up a chicken's ass and waits.
Somebody stole that from the internet, right?
Didn't we drop that during the
No, we
live
didn't.
roast?
No way.
Were we supposed to?
No,
Guys,
Dude,
we
it's
do what we
9
want here.
It's
Guys,
9:45.
we had an-
They're even mopping. We can say whatever we
had
want.
an awesome time last week. You probably heard the recap show, but shout out to Brian Kessler. They got a washer tournament coming up. When is that washer tournament?
Okay, so there's all kinds of stuff going on. Sociedad Española. Okay.
Jeez Louise.
No, they do have they've got a washer tournament coming up June 26th, I believe.
When's
and then
the
of course
Ray?
the Ray Memorial. Let me just give you that. Let's go ahead and
The
just
Ray, baby.
let's just get
Let's
the
do the
gears
Ray.
turning on the Ray Memorial wash tourney. You know, Steve, this is my Super Bowl, buddy. This is my day of days. Okay. Take my birthday, take whatever. My day is the washer
Throw
tournament,
it
the
in the
South City
toilet.
Washer Tournament, August 3rd, Saturday, August 3rd, 11 to 7. You've got it's $80 a team. That covers all your drinking food for the day. It is a blast. We usually get anywhere from 48 to 72 teams out there. It's always fun. Karaoke goes on deep into the night. Everybody's having a good time, laughing, singing, loving. It's a great time. Check out the Ray Memorial Wash Tournament. The Vibe Tribe helps put it on. And shout out to our buddy Brian Kessler, who had back surgery. yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
He came through, which was rough for me. When I heard.
He came through. He's our guy. He did put on a heck of a time, man. We had a blast. Just another testament to how awesome our fans are, and we had a good old time. But let's get to some more pressing stuff, shall we?
Sure. Clap it out. We like movies. So do we. You like the internet. And so do you. It's streaming pics of the week. It's the streaming pics of the week.
Who too?
It's the streaming pics of the week. Well, you like the internet too.
What are you watching, bub?
Oh, I didn't watch anything. I've been reading a lot of books.
I'll tell you what I watched.
Let me get it. Oh, I know what I did. Dead to me.
Tell you what I watched, Steve.
I don't want to hear about you. You ask me first. I always go first. Dead to me. Dead to you. Dead to me.
Dead to me is what it's called.
Dead to me. Great show. You didn't like it. I loved it.
I didn't hate
it. Great. Christina Applegate is phenomenal.
She is
in
really
the
good.
show.
What is the other gal? What
the
do I
other
know
gal
the other gal
is
from?
phenomenal
She's been
too.
in.
She plays the mom in. She plays in one movie with Paul Rudd and Seth Rogen. I'm assuming all of them. She's in Stepdads with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg.
Oh yeah. Okay.
She's Will Ferrell's wife, the mom.
Okay. She's
so
great.
funny. And the first episode. And
See,
the
I
second
came in like 3
episode-
episodes in, so I'd probably.
Oh, you
need to-
did?
Yeah, Miss was
No.
watching it. Yeah. So I probably need to go back and.
Listen, the first episode will. I don't even want to give that away.
Okay, all right,
But
I'll go
it's
back and watch
about two women who they're at a grief club, grief counseling group, grief club.
It's like Glee Club.
You up, never gonna let you. Oh no.
Careful.
Rick rolled. Wow, so that got crazy there.
It
for
just
a
can't be
second.
too long.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good call. We're already whatever.
He knows what's going on.
But yeah, I've been watching that and it's pretty cool. I like it.
Right on. I started a little show that people
Be a critic.
people have been telling me to check this out for a while. I believe it's on Hulu. Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty's great. Rick and Morty's great. And I'm going to talk about Rick and Morty.
Were you a Rick and Morty virgin?
Yes.
Huh. Okay.
Yes. And that cartoon was, I think, made for me. Like
It's good.
the cartoon is psychedelic, dude. It's just a goofy trip through this mad scientist brain's always like it's what was the old cartoon with the dog and the kid and the little boy? No.
It's a
No, the
cartoon with a dog.
The dog
and a
was smart. The
kid
dog
and
was
a
like, and the
boy.
kid was like,
Clifford.
the boy was like his son, and they traveled through time. Whatever. It's-
Jetsons.
Dude.
You're talking about Mr. Peabody?
Yes,
And- yeah.
thank you. What's it called?
It was a short that was part
Dog
of
wasn't his dad.
Bullwinkle.
It
was part of Bullwinkle. Like it'd be a little short.
We're talking about Snoopy.
Yes, and they just recently
Snoopy was
made
Charlie
a
Brown's
movie.
dad.
What is it? Mr. Peabody and what?
I can't think of the kid's name.
Whatever. There it is, right there. It's so good, dude. So it's kind of got that thing where they're kind of jumping through dimensions and time and all of this stuff, and just going through the weirdest scenario. And it's crude humor. Made me laugh out loud a dozen times the first episode I watched. Absolutely hilarious. It's really
Steve,
good.
you're not familiar?
No, but everyone says
Dude,
it's right up my alley.
It's a drunk scientist he's an alcoholic and he's a terrible person and he has no feelings.
Screamingly
And
drunk.
He lives with his daughter and her husband and their kids, and they all like he and his son-in-law they hate each other. It's hilarious.
It's
and
funny.
he's just a genius, and he can go anywhere he wants in the universe, and he keeps all this to himself. Like he can cure any disease, he
Except
wants.
for the boy, the son. Like he takes him on. Come on, you got to come along.
Yeah,
on
he
this
just
journey.
drags his grandson with him.
He brings Morty along. It's hilarious, dude. It's great. And the reason I choose to talk about that is because it filled me. It filled the void in my soul that those pieces of garbage over at HBO have just taken a pickaxe to the inside. I'm not afraid to say it. You've got 2 episodes, and you had better blow my doors off because so far
is this
I
a
have
dot thing?
so much time and just heart and soul invested into being a fan of this great work of fiction, just to see these 2 slick-haired dweeb weasels just step all over.
Call them
this
dweezels. Same
Dweezels.
time.
Yeah. Dweezil Zappa?
Dweebs and weasels together.
Dude, I am so wholly unimpressed with this final season of
It's
Game of Thrones?
garbage, man. The more I think about it, the more I get mad.
Listen,
the more
you
I start
heard me
thinking about
after-
the construction workers on my street.
You heard me after Ep 3. Okay. 1 and 2, I was like, okay.
You don't have time to say episode.
They gave no, I'm pressed for time. They gave us 1 and 2. Okay.
Yeah, I like
and I was
that.
like, you know what? 1 and 2 feels good. They're tying up the loose little feel goods.
Yeah.
Then 3, they're gonna take 12,000 years of lore and try and convince me that it's not as important as some fantasy version
Game of
of
Thrones.
Netflix House of Cards.
Game of Thrones.
Give me a break.
I saw a picture of those.
We're killing
are those
magic.
the dragons. 'Cause I
Just
saw
you know
that
what?
picture, I
If you
saw the
haven't watched
dragons.
it, I'm not gonna do this
laughed.
to you. I
Can
don't even
we-
want to put spoiler alert. I'm just so wholly unimpressed. And they've got 2 episodes, and we all know that this is the final. Like this week is the final battle. This is the big deal. They're gonna wrap up a bunch of crap next week and give us all little feel goods, or whatever. Hopefully, I don't know. I hope it ends with someone I love getting stuck in the neck, because this whole thing has just been. It's just been
Like in real life, or
so it's just been so uninspired, man. Just so uninspired. And you know, I try not to get too caught up in fan fictions. I get mad at people that can't appreciate a Star Wars movie for what it is. But I just feel like they literally
Yeah, you stabbed a guy in the neck for not respecting Star Wars.
you remember like Doctor Strange, and he went and watched 4 billion different ways to beat Thanos, and he's got all of these 4 billion different ways. And I feel like HBO saw all of these thousands and millions of theories for where it could have went, and they said, nope, not gonna do any of that. We're gonna do the thing that all of you
They
could
seem
have-
pompous.
could have written
Double
when you were in
Ds.
5th grade. It is
5th graders would at least have a little more boobs.
all right.
You would have got to see
Can we-
Brienne's
thank
boobs.
you.
Those
That's
dragons
exactly
look
it.
like they were drawn by a fifth
Exactly
grader.
it.
You did get to see the dragon.
Listen, I
boobs.
got to tell you guys, I want to bring you in on this, and I don't know how much Steve wants to get into it, but Steve being my best friend going, I spent a fair amount of time over by his place, and I got to remember to give him just a little bit more space for what's going on right now, because where I like to stay pretty level-headed, every time I go to his house, I want to break my hand on someone's face, because they are doing road work over there that no man can make sense of.
I thought you meant somebody in Steve's family.
It
like,
makes less sense.
I wanna
It
punch
makes
your wife.
less
Yeah,
sense than what they're doing on Game of Thrones. I don't know what's going on over there, but it is absolutely ridiculous. And buddy, the fact that you have to deal with that every day, you're a saint, brother.
I've tried to not even.
I don't
think
know who
about
the
it.
company is. I think it's, you know what? I'm going to throw it out there. It might be, I don't know, KCI. I don't know. There's probably several different people. I have no qualms.
There's like 40 trucks out there all the time. There's 10 guys doing nothing.
I have
all
no
the time.
qualms calling them out, because I don't live over there. Get it together.
Listen,
You're disrupting people's lives. There are elderly that can't get emergency services. The road's a mess. You got steamrollers parked over here and dump trucks parked over here, and then they look at you like you got a third eye growing out of your forehead. Steve, how do you deal with it?
Om Namo
Guru Dev Namo.
That's how I do it.
That's how you do it.
Integrity plays me like that stuff. And
Right
holds me like a baby.
Could be done.
He holds me. Sometimes I call him and he holds me like a baby.
Hey,
I got a bonus pick. Can I do a bonus
I
pick?
was gonna say, I watched something
What?
Oh my God. Stop.
the other day. During my lunch break, I was YouTubing up an old Bill Burr comedy special. And this dude, he's the top 5 guy for me, and he just doesn't hold back, and I love
agree.
him to
I bet
death.
he's
And you guys
lovely.
like Bill Burr, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm a
he's
big
great.
Bill Burr fan.
Well, I thought just in time for Mother's Day, I pulled this clip.
Oh God.
And
I've
I
never
went
really
back and
heard him
forth.
say
I went-
anything nice, so I don't know where
I
this
went
is
back
going.
and forth with myself, and I even asked Steve, I'm like, should we
I
play
said
this
no.
tonight? But everybody that listens to the show has a good sense of humor, and it's Bill Burr's a great guy. So here's a little something I pulled for you.
So, I got a girlfriend, man. I watch a lot of TV with her. I just annoy the hell out of her. She loves watching the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I love watching her watch the Oprah Winfrey Show. And I wait for Oprah to say something stupid, and the second she does, I just take it out on my girl because I'm an asshole. That's what I do. No, we were watching it the other day. Oprah's on there. She's interviewing some clam, and she's giving her this big, ridiculous intro. Like, she's done this, she's done that, she's done this, and she does the most difficult job on the planet. She's the mother and continues on. Immediately, I just look at my girlfriend like, like really? Being a mother is the most difficult job on the planet. Oh yeah, all those mothers who die every year from black lung, from inhaling all that coal dust. Dude, women are just constantly patting themselves on the back about how difficult their lives are, and no one corrects them because they want to them.
I guess I reached out to Bill Barr. I want him on the show.
Oh,
I did try to get him.
Okay, happy Mother's Day.
Hey, it really depends on your definition of difficult.
I had a
job.
Yeah,
I had a heck.
You may
of a
not
mother.
die, but it could.
I had a heck of a mother, and I got a heck of a mother for my children, man. And I got to tell you, I spent a lot of time away from home.
Yeah, you do.
I'm not saying
Purposely.
I'm not saying it's the hardest job in the world, but it's up there, buddy.
Oh,
because
yeah.
being a dad's pretty darn tough, and I'm not near as hands-on.
Well, they carry them too inside.
And the whole child.
There's that
looks
whole
like
thing.
it
They
hurts.
do
My
make it-
God.
Yeah,
Probably doesn't tickle.
That's a rough go.
Dude, my mom,
9 months.
my mom this Sunday is getting up early, and she's going to be the first one at Busch Stadium. And I swear she's going to be tackling people like Black Friday because she said she is getting one of those.
What are they
purses.
giving away?
They're giving away the crossbody bag, the purse, the Cardinals.
well, that's
it's the Mother's Day.
Are you going?
No, I'm not going.
What, you don't love your mother, Seth?
We go to Cardinals games together all the time. I can't make it this
I don't
Sunday.
know if I want to
Get your mom a purse. Your mom need a purse. Get the gal a
She
purse.
is taking care of that. She's
guys-
ready to throw some bows. She goes, I'm getting one of those purses.
This is a little embarrassing, but me and my mom have a Mother's Day tradition that we do every year, and I didn't even know if I was going to say it on the radio, but every year we like to,
watch Pornhub together.
I'll slather
Strange.
myself in some sort of oil, and we'll reenact my birth. So she gets on a table. And she wears a long dress,
Yes.
and then I slather myself in Momed Canco massage oil, and then I slide.
Also at checkout.
I go out. She cuts a hole in the dress, and I kind of slide out, and we record it.
Is there like some
so we
Zen
have a
music playing or
recording.
something?
You know how people
You're
do the
actually
pictures
growing through every
yeah,
year.
you know how like people do the pictures of like every year in front of the fireplace, and you get to see them grow up. Or every night. I have my birth recreated every year.
You have 35.
I have 35 of my birth.
That's impressive. You
It's
should
pretty
frame
cool.
that. That's something that could probably.
Well, I'm waiting to make picture frames. I'll tell you next time.
Yeah, sounds like you might want to finish it on social media.
Active picture frames. When you press a button, it plays like a scene of a movie or something, and then it's just a scene of the movie still, LED light. When you press the button, it plays the scene, and you can change it.
Well, we did it again. We just made your entire Friday night. You sit there wondering, what did I do to deserve 2 hours of some of the most gut-bustingly funny things I've ever heard in my entire life?
It was worth sitting through that to hear the Steve end it with that thing he just said. That was incredibly gnarly.
You did real well.
You did good, baby.
You're a sophisticated Hoosier. You've joined the ranks. And thank you so much for joining us.
I love you, St. Louis.
We're helping be the voice for change in this world. We're trying to help bring cannabis to the forefront of the American pharmacopoeia.
Can we do
Missouri, we've done it. Denver, way to go on the psilocybin. Thank you for doing that.
Awesome.
Kyle, I'm going to catch you off guard. There's an event coming up. St. Charles Normal. When is it? May 20th.
May 20th.
At Redfish Bluefish at
One
7
fish,
o'clock.
two fish. Redfish, bluefish. How many people want
Our sponsors are great, man. They make this whole thing possible. MomedCanco.com. Enter HooSoph at checkout. You get 15% off your entire order site-wide. They have CBD flower now.
Canco.
You got Lifetime Roofing and Renovation. The best in exterior work. Just go Google them. James Carlton State Farm. Are you insured? Is your family insured? They have life insurance. If something were to happen to you, would your family be able to live on what's remaining of your savings? Call James Carlton. He wants to take care of you. Do you have a young driver? He's going to make sure that they are sufficiently covered. Go down to Truman's and watch a hockey game. They're big Blues fans down there. You go down there. You say, hey, Patty Maroon, be somebody. Be a freezer. Go on and do it, number 7. Do it while I'm at Truman's having a burger and maybe a little beverage. And my name's John Lennon. And I've known great bug exterminators, beetle exterminators my entire life. Mark David Chapman. My wife, Yoko Ono. Perhaps the greatest beetle exterminator, Rose Extermination. 314-845-6101. Imagine, will you? Imagine it. I don't know what I'm doing here. Hoosier Sophisticate. We're having a ton of fun. Hey, get your friends in the Sophisticated Hoosiers page. We got Hoosier Cotillion coming up. There's a handful of tickets left. We're having a blast.
Love each other. Is that so hard?
Go on and do it. Be somebody. Hoosier Sophisticated here on WGNU. We will see you next week, St. Louis.